right, you guys, we are here at the airport, CBG Airport, about to start our journey to Vegas for the first time ever. Super excited. Let's get to it. All right, we're here. Going to get our bag now. Oh, shit, this is a lot, boys. We're doing shit.
First of all, where are you from?
Cincinnati.
All right. So you know, Cincinnati rules doesn't apply here anymore.
Sure.
Those are back home in Las Vegas. Okay.
Okay.
So whatever rules affect there, they don't exist here. So please listen. When it comes to rideshare, Lyft, or Uber, if you're gonna use it, type it in. Do not use your locator.
Okay.
Okay. That way, because each hotel has a pickup and drop-off location.
Okay.
Caesar's Palace has 3 different areas to pick up. When it comes to walking on the strip, we have pedestrian bridges. Please use them.
Okay.
If you do use the crosswalk, obey the signal. Make sure you look both ways twice, and wherever the closest car is to you, keep watching them, because we got problems with people running the red light.
Yeah.
And also, do not jaywalk.
Yeah.
Please do
I'm
not
trying to
jaywalk.
get run over.
All right, so you know, if you're going to a pool area, the flip-flops are cool. But do not wear them on the strip, because they tend to break.
Yeah.
So try to have some kind of shoe that's attached to your feet, and also stay hydrated as much as you can. So
For sure.
try not to drink till about this time of the day. Just drink lemonade, water, Gatorade. Watch out for the ladies. Some of them will hit on you, and it'll be talking to you.
Yeah.
I'll be asking you what hotel you stay
Trying to get in your pockets.
No, they got a crew.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, that's even worse.
You know, so try not to be flashy with jewelry.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna be asking you, all kinds of questions. Which hotel you stay in, who you with, or whatever. But she's still texting, not looking at your face.
They're letting someone know what you
be
got.
set up. So at least I'll give you a fair warning, because I want you to have a good time. And if you win lots of money, you know what to do.
Yep. All right, we are here in our room. Look at that view. Sick. So here is our bankroll for the week. We got $26.90 here for cash games. We got our tournament buy-ins, $2,500, $550 in emergency cash, and then this random money I had in my pocket. So altogether, we got $5,775 to start our journey. I'm gonna give updates as we go along. We'll see where we end up by the end. So the plan for the night is probably go get some food, find a good steak somewhere, and then hit up the gym. Probably not even gonna play tonight. Gonna try to be well rested for our tournament at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So that is our plan for the night. Let's go get some food. Got to go register for this tournament. All right, you guys, we are about to walk down the street and fire this tournament. Wish us luck. Biggest tournament I've ever played. I think the biggest buy-in I've ever played was like 800 or 1,000 or something like that. So yeah, we're taking a shot here. I'm feeling good about it. So it's looking like a beautiful day. So let's get out there and run it up. All right, we're here for this tournament. Walking in.
We're just talking about you.
Real quick, we are going to review our bust out hand for the $1,500 monster stack. Yeah, spoiler alert, we did not win $1,204,457. Yeah, quick spoiler alert. So we're going to go ahead and run through our bust out hand from this tournament. Early position player opens to 1,000. We get a bunch of callers. We go ahead and call from the small blind with pocket fives. Perfect hand to set mine with and try to hit a flop. Big big blind calls and off to the flop, and we do smash our set. 8, 5, 3, 2 diamonds out there. We check in flow, and it checks over to the pre-flop raiser, who bets 2.2k. So when it folds around to us, we have a mandatory raise 100% of the time. 2 diamonds out there. We are unblocking the flush draws. He can have a ton of overpairs in his range. We are unblocking the top pair. He can have a lot of 8x that he's betting and not going to fold. So mandatory raise. We do make it 5.9. And now, much to our surprise, the big blind calls. So putting him on a ton of huge draws. 7, 6 of diamonds, ace, deuce of diamonds, hands such as these. Early position player calls as well. So 3 ways to the turn, and we boat up on the turn. 3 of clubs. There's 23.1k in the pot. And at this point, like I said, I think big blind has a ton of draws in his range, which are now drawing dead with the board pairing. And I still think the early position player has a ton of overpairs, so he is drawing very thin as well. So I don't want to blast huge. So I decide to bet just under third pot, 7k. The big blind calls and early position calls as well. So this pot has gotten massive here off to the river. 44.1k in the pot, and the river is the 10 of clubs. So pretty neutral to this river. Obviously pocket 10s gets there, but all the other overpairs we are still beating, coming up with a size that I think early position will call with a hand such as kings, queens, or aces. I decide 18,000 sounds like a good bet, so that is what we bet. Big blind quickly folds, and now early position player rips all in without really even thinking too long. Only about 5, maybe 10 seconds of thought max. Rips all in. Absolutely terrible spot. At this point, we don't really beat any of his value. We have basically the worst boat possible. There's no flush out there. There's no straight out there he can be value owning himself with. I don't think he has pocket 8s the way the hand played out. The timing tells of the hand, so he pretty much has pocket 10s, or we should be good. I don't really think he ever really has a bluff here is the problem. It's just multi-way early in this tournament. Just don't see how it's possible, but honestly, guys, we were just not in a folding mood. We got a full house. I mean, if you got 10s, Merry Christmas, not folding. So we do make the call, unfortunately. The more I look at this hand, the more I realize how bad of a call this is. Even though we have a full house, relative hand strength does not matter here. We have the worst full house basically possible. So this is just a fold. 10s. What else did we expect? You live and you learn. That is going to be our bust out hand for this $1,500 tournament.
I like it. I have to call for small bets. I don't like it. It's the river.
Fucking hand.
Yeah, I got
Ace 8,
Ace 4.
Ace 4 diamonds. Okay.
45, 40,
Okay.
45.
Ace, I think Ace 8 diamonds.
That's pretty
Eyes
unlucky.
for
The size is
time.
bigger, I fold. I almost folded on
Well, I mean, I want you to call.
I
want you to call.
6.
Well, that sucked, you guys. It's got a pretty bad cooler. Maybe we should have thought about it a little more at the end, but you know, such is life. What can you do? I knew exactly what both of them had. I knew big blind had a big draw. I figured early position had some type of repair. I was thinking it was jacks, queens, kings, aces. Should have thought more about the 10s. Honestly, when he rips all in on the river, now that pretty much narrows his range to just 10s. I mean, I knew neither of them had pocket 8s, so I mean, if you have pocket 10s, just here you go. I mean, we would have had about 25k left if we folded, but honestly, we probably should have at least thought about it more. What can you do, you know? If I would have won that pot, we would have had heaps. Whatever. This guy's not having a good time. Damn, bro. Could be worse, I guess, right? So, whatever. We really only lost 1170 because I had someone that had a piece of me. They were getting 20% for 330. So we lost 1170. I thought we played the hand well. I knew exactly what both players had. I should have just maybe folded river. Probably not. Okay, whatever. Way she goes. We are here outside Caesar's Palace. I'm about to play some 1-3 for now. I signed up for 3-5 and 2-3 as well. So the game looks like there's not much of a wait. I don't feel like waiting super long at the other places. And I think we're fine just playing 1-3 for now and a little bigger later. So that's our plan. Let's get in there. Deuce, deuce, deuce. Oh, check. So that was pretty much the only somewhat interesting hand we played from that session, and we ended up making a whopping $22. Pretty boring end result, but couldn't play for super long. We had this $500 tournament we got to get some rest for in the morning. Minus 1170 for the tournament and plus 22 for cash. So total end result for day 2, minus 1148. We are on the way to Horseshoe to play this $500 Salute to the Veterans WSOP event. It's hot as shit. It's like 100 degrees. It's only 10 in the morning. So let's get in there. Wish us luck. This hand happened super early on, only less than an orbit in. We're sitting on 52,000. There is a limp from under the gun. The low jack limps as well. This guy was playing basically every hand, the low jack. We go ahead and raise to 1100 with pocket eights, 8 of diamonds, 8 of clubs. The under the gun limper calls and the low jack calls as well. So 3 ways to the flop, 3.8K in the pot, and the flop is 875. Top set for us on this very wet connected board. Under the gun bets out 2200. The low jack quickly calls. I contemplate raising for sure, but this early in the tournament, I want to keep in his bluffs, kind of just see what develops on the turn, and 9-6 suited is still a possibility, so I do elect to just call for now. The turn is the 4 of clubs. Under the gun now, once again, undeterred by the club, bets out for 5,000. The low jack pretty quickly folds. Nothing else for us to do other than call at this point. We do have the 8 of clubs, which is good, I would assume. So we do put in the call. The river is the beautiful 5 of hearts. Don't really have to worry about being beat now. If you got pocket 5s, you got pocket 5s, so be it. Under the gun now bets out for 6,000. Pretty small bet relative to the pot, so always raising this. Coming up with the sizing, it's pretty early in the tournament. We're pretty deep, so I think I can get away with a pretty decent raise size. I decided to make it 23,000, just under 4x. Let me know what you guys would have made it here. That's what I decided to do, and he didn't think about it for too long and folded. Maybe should have went a little bit smaller, but that's going to be it for pocket 8s. This was a weird one, you guys. This hand really tilted me, even though honestly it probably could have ended a lot worse. So we started the hand with 70,000. Blinds at 200, 300, 300 big blind ante. There is a limp under the gun, pretty short stack player. This guy was pretty maniacal, playing basically every hand. We go ahead and make it 1,500 from under the gun 2 with pocket queens, trying to get it heads up with this guy. Unfortunately, the low jack calls, the hijack calls, the cutoff calls, and the under the gun limper calls, so super multi-way. Off to a flop, and the flop is 8-3 deuce, spade club, so pretty good flop all things considered. It's just so multi-way. We have to be kind of weary of basically any hand, any sets possible, but I think a bet is still in order. It would be terrible to check and allow a king or an ace to come on the turn. There's 8.3K in the pot. I decide to bet 5,000. The low jack calls and the cutoff calls. 3 ways to the turn, and it is the 7 of clubs. So now there is a ton of draws on the board. We check. The low jack now fires out for 14,000. Pretty hefty bet. Cutoff quickly folds, back on us, and at this point, I don't think there's anything we can do other than call. I really wanted to fold, honestly, just because this hand started off so multi-way on the flop. We bet 5,000, he called, other guy calls. We bet 5,000 into so many people. He calls, another player calls behind. When he now bets 14K after we check to him and he's in position on us, it just looks very strong. But at the same time, there's no straight possible. There's so many draws available that I just don't think we can fold. We do put in the call off to the river, and it is the 6 of clubs, 51.3K in the pot. This pot has ballooned pretty massively. We are definitely going to be checking, and thank God LoJack decides to shut it down and check back. He had pocket aces, so he was trapping us the whole way, just smooth calling our isolation raise pre-flop, hoping someone would 3-bet us, but unfortunately for him, did not happen. And fortunately for us, we did not get stacked this hand. We easily could have got stacked. He definitely could have 3-bet us, bet pretty big on the flop, basically bomb turn, committed us, and it would have been a really tough spot. So even though we lost a decent pot here, I think we pretty much lost the minimum. Could have been a lot worse. Pretty pivotal hand here. So under the gun, 2 opens to 1,200, folds to us, and we 3-bet to 3,000 from the hijack with pocket kings, king of clubs, king of spades. Folds around to under the gun 2, who puts in the call. So heads up to the flop, and the flop is Jack 9-3 rainbow. So very good flop. No ace out there. Pretty dry, disconnected flop. So he checks. Definitely going to be betting. We go ahead and fire out the same bet pre-flop. Another 3K, just under half pot. I like this bet size, and he puts in the call. And the turn is the 8 of spades. Queen 10 gets there, 10-7 gets there, random 2 pairs get there. Can't really worry about that though. There's a ton we need to protect against. So we go ahead and fire out for 10,000, and he doesn't give it too much thought and just rips all in for 28K. Definitely not in love with this spot. There's just so many draws out there, and he could potentially have a worse value hand such as ace jack. Nothing else to do other than call, so we do put in the call. The river, it is the 4 of clubs, and our opponent has Jack 10 offsuit. So he had top pair on the turn and picked up the straight draw to go with it and decided this was his time to go with it. Unfortunately for him, he did not hit, and fortunately for us, we get a much needed double up.
26, 5.
Two players. One's all in, the other one called. Excuse me for the confusion.
Unreal. Unreal. One time. So sick. GG. Well, guys, just busted out of the $500. Salute to veterans. Dwindled down for a while. Blinds started getting high. We went kind of card dead. It was down to about 14.5 big blinds, and min raised with pocket kings. Guy 3-bet to 20,000. So obviously we went all in for like 43,500. He called pocket queens. Of course, it's a queen on the flop. I mean, it's always the same old story in the damn tournaments with me, I swear. So, not really sure what we're doing now. Probably just go back to the room, regroup, take a shower, and figure out what we are going to do from here. We are about to go play some cash at Resorts World. Something different, gonna let us see a little different part of Vegas we haven't been to yet. Probably some easier competition. All the crushers are probably at the bigger casinos and not much of a wait. So yeah, that's pretty much our plan for now. About to get a lift in a minute. So let's hit the road. I'll lose more soon. I just can't win. God damn it. This is a whole night, dude. I swear.
Precision 35.
All in.
Just, you guys just wake up the lion. 3.
If I die, I die.
378.
The second
Gotta
day was
take
snoring
possible.
over there, dude. What's up with this? It's $35. The call, $70. You make it $487,000 million.
I do.
Cause I'm fucking drunk. Sorry.
7 deuce.
I don't have aces, I promise. Swear on anything, I don't have aces.
7 deuce.
No 7 deuce either.
Yeah, call just for the hood.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just for the hood. See?
I got the best non-paired hand.
I have a paired hand.
Well then, you're ahead right now. Now I got...
You flop the wheel.
you probably win then.
Ace king.
Ooh, yay. Just left Resorts World. We lost $648 plus $500 we lost earlier. So that is minus 1138 today, minus 1148 yesterday. Pretty similar shitty result. So minus 2286 so far for the trip. We got this chicken and fries from the guy's chicken place. Looks super fire. I'm supposed to be chilling with this baddie I met at the pool earlier. So if that goes according to plan, probably won't be playing much poker. So that is our daily update. About to make our way over to the high roller in a second, the Ferris wheel that overlooks the strip. I got a ticket when I signed up for my Caesars card. I could have got that, a free drink, or slot play. So I was like, running Ferris wheel. So yeah, update on last night. We ran well. No poker, but we ran well. So that was nice to say the least. Yeah, couldn't pass up the opportunity. So poker had to take a break for yesterday. But we'll be back today. I'm thinking Aria sounds like a nice place to play. I'm going to try to play Bellagio, probably last day or second to last day. So that's our plan. Let's head over to the high roller. While I was on the high roller, I couldn't help but notice how awesome the Flamingo's pool area looked, and I was really missing nature and trees at this point. So I decided to head on over there and hang out by the pool for a little bit. And yeah, place did not disappoint. Place was super dope. And after that, it was time to head on over to the Aria and play some cash games. First big hand we play at the Aria, and we are looking down at red nines, Wayne Gretzky, 9 of hearts, 9 of diamonds. Under the gun 2 opens to 15. We go ahead and call from the low jack. Now the button, pretty reggy, clean cut, middle-aged white dude. He 3-bets to 75. Under the gun 2 calls, and getting an amazing price to set mine. We put in the call as well. 3 ways to the flop, 232 in the pot, and the flop is 9-8 deuce rainbow. So absolute dream flop, top set in this multi-way pot. It checks over to the button pre-flop razor, who c-bets for 125. Under the gun 2 doesn't think for too long and calls, and at this point, I think call is definitely the play. No flush draw on board. The only real draws are 7-6 suited or Jack 10 suited. Don't see much much point to raise and get him to fold hands that are basically drawing dead. Off to the turn, 607 in the pot, and it is the 6 of clubs. 10-7 gets there, so there is some straight possibilities now, but not too worried about 10-7. Under the gun 2 checks, and I think the button is going to be checking a lot, even with overpairs if we check, and I do not want to allow that to happen. Really want to get more money in the pot and set up a river jam. Since we don't have a ton behind, there's already a decent amount in the pot. We don't need to blast huge. I decided to bet 230. Button doesn't think too long and folds. Guessing he just had some type of ace-x hand, ace-king, ace-queen. And now under the gun 2 puts in the call. Definitely what we want to see. Praying for a clean river. And the river comes the 4 of clubs. Definitely not what we wanted to see. The flushes get home. I was putting him on a ton of draws on the turn. Not really putting him on a ton of value. So really did not want to see that club roll off. He now goes into the tank for about 25 seconds, 25-30 seconds, and then fires out 375. Really did not want to see that, but at the end of the day, we got top set. We have been running so bad so far on this trip. Can it really continue here, or can we get some money back? Like I said, we got top set. I ain't folding. So we do put in the call, and he has 6-5 of diamonds. Thank the Lord, we do get us a nice pot here at the Aria. This time we're looking down at 8-7 of hearts, nice suited connector. We go ahead and raise to 20 from the cutoff, 3 ways to the flop, and the flop is 9-6-5, 2 diamonds. Holy shit, we flop the nuts here at the Aria. It seems like our luck is finally starting to turn around. We fire out for $25, just a bit under 1/3 pot. Looking back, I really don't like this sizing. On a dynamic board like this, we want to be sizing up. The button folds and the big blind calls. 112 in the pot on the turn, and it is the deuce of clubs. We were about 1150 effective with the big blind to start this hand. He checks. We decide to bet 90. I would have liked an overbet here. There's 112 in there. I would have liked a bet of about 130. Would have been perfect. Sometimes players, though, in real life, especially players such as these kind of nittier, reggy type players, they will overfold to these overbets. So that is why I decided to just bet 90. But this is definitely a spot we can overbet this particular texture and action and positions of the hand. We do decide to bet 90 though, and he does put in the call. The river is the king of spades, 292 in the pot, so amazing river. Flush doesn't get there, complete brick. He checks, and I decide to bet 285. I don't hate this bet, basically full pot, but once again, I think we could have got greedy in this spot and went for the overbet. 335, 350 probably would have been the perfect bet size. He either has a misdraw or he has a big hand. A lot of sets are possible. A lot of 2-pair combinations are possible. So looking back, do not hate this bet size, but not in love with it either. Would have liked an overbet. Hindsight always 2020. He does pay it off, so we get ourselves another nice pot. Let's go. Just left Aria plus 1360. Needed that. Really needed that. The table started getting super reggy at the end. Didn't feel like battling with literally all regs. We're already up a nice amount. We really could not stand to get coolered somehow and lose all those chips in front of us. That just would have been absolutely devastating. So sometimes you got to play the long game, and the table was starting to just become really shitty anyway. So yeah, phone's getting low on battery. Gonna head back to the room, charge up our phone, put some of this money away, and figure out where we're going next. Definitely playing more, not sure where yet. So I'll get back to the home base and figure it out from there. On our way to Horseshoe, gonna play some 2-5 with our buddy from back home, have a few drinks. Don't know if I'm gonna record because I don't know if they're really cool with it, and I don't really feel like pressing my luck. I might. Gonna feel it out, see if I think we can get away with it. But that's our plan for now. Let's get in there. This was the only hand really worth reviewing from our session at the Horseshoe 2-5 session. We didn't really play for very long either. There is a straddle to $10 under the gun. Under the gun 2. pretty reggy player so far. Most of the table was opens to 40. We decided to call from the cutoff with Queen Jack of diamonds, and it's going to be heads up to the flop. The flop is 10-9-3 rainbow. There is one diamond out there, so we have the backdoor flush draw as well as the open-ended straight draw. Under the gun 2 bets 35. At this point, I'm putting him on a lot of ace king, ace jack, king queen type hands that I think I can get him to fold. I decide to raise to 115. After thinking it over for a bit, he decides to 3-bet rip all in for 480. So this really puts us in the blender, and it pretty much becomes a math problem now. We need to call 365 more, and we're going to get back 1,057 if we are correct. 97 in the pot plus his 480 times 2. 365 divided by 1,057 is going to be basically 0.34, so we need 34% equity. If he has ace king, that's the one hand we're in pretty good shape against. We should have about 45% equity against ace king. Kings, we're not in very great shape, about 24% equity. Queens, same story, about 28. And if he has jacks, we should have around 38% equity. So it's very close weighing these all together and averaging it out. Super close to pretty much break even. If this was like a really good game with a bunch of whales in it splashing around, I would just snap this off because whatever, if I can run up a big stack, it's going to be a lot more valuable. I know I'm going to be able to win more, and I'm going to be playing in this game for a while. As it stands, our buddy was already about to leave. The game was not very good. I already had it in my head I was going to be leaving, so I didn't want to call off in a very marginal spot and just end up more stuck. I did decide to just lay this down. I just didn't think we were getting the right price. He did say after the hand he had ace king, and honestly, I believe him. You know, I think we might have got owned this hand, but could have been lying. He could have just had kings or whatever, but we'll never really know. That was really the only interesting hand that we played at Horseshoe. One highlight of this session at Horseshoe, our homie Benjamin, who we met during the $500 tournament, did hit a royal flush. So not a big pot, as you can see, but always got to add the royal in if someone hits one. First noteworthy hand at Planet Hollywood. We were pretty drunk by this point as well. So we're looking down at ace, queen, offsuit, ace of clubs, queen of hearts. Early position opens to 17 off a short stack. Our buddy Benjamin calls from middle position. He just came from Horseshoe as well. I told him I was coming here. We go ahead and put in the 3-bet to 70. Early position now moves all in for 53 total, and middle position calls the 70. Off to the flop, little side pop brewing now. The flop is king 8-3 rainbow. Middle position checks. Check. We should definitely fire on this flop, but now with this tiny side pot brewing, we got pretty decent showdown value. I don't really want to get blown off my hand, and we have pretty awkward stack sizes behind. We both roughly have about 200 behind.
Check.
I decide to check, and then on the turn, 9 of spades.
Check.
He checks once again, and at this point, I'm going to fire, just try to get him to fold out random hands or maybe super low pairs.
30.
So I bet 30. Would have liked a little bit of a bigger bet.
Fold.
But he does fold, and he said he had pocket sixes. We get a better hand out.
So we're going to do side.
Did you have that too? Early position has queen jack offsuit. We are going to win this hand. Really like the aesthetic of this room, and you're overlooking the whole casino, so you've got your own private area up top. Really like this poker room. Getting back to the hands, once again we are looking down at ace queen, this time of the suited variety. There is a limp under the gun, our buddy from last hand. We go ahead and raise to 18 from the hijack. The small blind calls, and under the gun calls as well. So 3 ways to the flop. The flop is queen 3 deuce with 2 clubs out there, so top pair, top kicker. Great flop for us. Checks to us, and we bet 31. The small blind folds, and under the gun now raises to 75. Never going anywhere. We go ahead and put in the call. The turn is the 4 of clubs, so the flush does get home. He checks it over to us with the flush. Getting there, would hate to bet and get jammed on. I decide to check back and evaluate river. The river is another 4. This time the 4 of diamonds. Under the gun 1 bets 100, and yeah, snapping this off. So we call.
I want to try it, but I never played.
Hiya. And we are good versus king queen.
Thank you.
Go to the
Alright, y'all, we are walking back from Planet Hollywood. Had a good ass time there. Drank a few brewskis. Before you know it, the sun's up. So we are walking back to the room. I just got some food from this Earl of Sandwich place. Looks super good, so ready to eat that. I'm super hungry. But yeah, had a great time. Was able to make an extra 450 bucks. So 450 at Planet Hollywood, plus 1360 at Aria, minus 255 at Horseshoe. So all in all, plus 1,555 for the day. So that brings us to minus 731 total for the trip. Put a huge dent in our losses. So tomorrow we will be back at it to try to bring that number up even higher to profit instead of negative. So that is our end goal. Let's make it happen. And it's kind of peaceful walking around at 5:30 in the morning out here. First hand, we are going to play at MGM. Amazing property, by the way. And we're looking down at ace 4 of hearts in the cutoff. Under the gun 2 raises to $20. We could 3-bet, but I decided to just put in the call, and the button straddle comes along as well. 3 ways to the flop, and it is a great one. King 5 deuce with 2 hearts. We have the steel wheel, straight flush draw. Under the gun 2, now C-bets for $35. At this point, we stray from the conventional route. We are probably supposed to just call this most of the time, keep in his weaker flush draws. We do have ace high still, but I decide to spice it up and raise it up to 170. And now, of course, the button doesn't think too long and just goes all in. So yeah, he definitely has a nutted hand. But at this point, we just have way too much equity. We go ahead and call it off. Really think we need to hit this heart to win. The turn is the 7 of diamonds. River, ace of spades, but I don't think it's going to help us. And yeah, it does not. He has pocket 2s for the flopped set. We are going to lose this hand. Last hand we're going to look at MGM. This time we have Jack 10 offsuit in the small blind. Under the gun 2 raises to 10. Low Jack calls. Hijack calls. We go ahead and call from the small blind, Jack 10 offsuit. This is supposed to just be a fold, but we felt like splashing around. And big blind puts in the call as well. 5 ways to the flop, super multi-way, $50 in there. And the flop is ace, jack, deuce with 2 spades. It checks to the pre-flop raiser who C-bets $20. The low jack calls, hijack folds, And we have a pretty straightforward call at this point, especially having the jack of spades. So we call and big blind folds. The turn is the 5 of spades. Interesting turn for sure. Don't really think there's much else for us to do, though, other than check still. So we do check. And this time, they both pretty quickly check. At this point, I'm thinking one of them definitely has some type of weak ace, most likely. Don't think either of them ever has a flush. We are blocking the flush. We are blocking the straight with queen 10. I think this is a good spot to turn our hand into a bluff. Don't think our jack is going to be good. I think they do have some type of weak ace that we can get them to fold. So we think it over for a bit, and then we fire out for 70, and they both quickly fold, so we are going to take this one down. We just left MGM, lost a big hand with ace-4 of hearts against pocket twos. He flopped a set. We had the steel wheel, straight flush draw, and we just went for it, basically, and we could not hit, so we lost about 500 that hand. So yeah, and the table was just not really feeling the energy. Table was pretty boring. So I only played about an hour and I was like, I'm just gonna get out of here. So I just ordered some food from Yard House. I got some salmon, get something healthy this time, some salmon and broccoli. Tired of just eating junk food all the time. So gonna eat that, and then I think we're gonna go to Resorts World and play a little bit there. So that's our plan for now. Let's go get this feed. The salmon did end up being delicious, definitely the best thing I ate while I was here. And after that, it was time to catch a ride to Resorts World. All right, we got the first bomb pot of our trip, and we are looking down at the beautiful king, queen, queen, jack, 3 clubs, king high clubs. The way they do it here, it is a progressive pot. You can only bet what's in the pot. You cannot repot. Off to the flop, $60 in there. There is 6 of us in the hand. The top flop is queen 7 deuce top set. The bottom flop is 8 6 4 with 2 clubs. So we have top set on that top board and the second nut flush draw on the bottom. Amazing flops. Small blind bets 60. We call and button calls. Still 3 ways to the turn. 240 in the pot. The top turn is the deuce of spades we bowed up. Bottom turn is the 3 of diamonds brick. Small blind once again bets pot 240. We Hollywood for a little bit, act like we have a decision. Then we put in the call and button calls as well. 960 now in the pot, headed to the river. The top board, the river is 3 of hearts. The bottom board, the river is the 10 of spades. Top board, nothing really changes. Bottom board, we brick out. We cannot hit our flush, unfortunately. Small blind now bets pot again, 960. Obviously, we call. We only have 317 left behind, and button calls as well. Button has 7 deuce for the lower full house on that top board, and small blind also has 7 deuce, but he has pocket aces to go with it. So me and small blind are going to split, and we are going to win ourselves a very nice pot. Magical jiggities this hand. Low jack opens to 20. Hijack calls. Cutoff calls. Lots of dead money in there, and we have a pretty vulnerable hand. We go ahead and 3-bet pretty big to 140. Only the hijack calls. So heads up to the flop, and he has barely any left behind. 325 in the pot, and the flop is king, king 5 with 2 diamonds. He checks, and yeah, he only has about 90 left behind, so we put him all in, and he calls it off. We agree to run it twice. The first turn in river, 5 of spades, ace of spades. Second turn in river, 7 of hearts, 8 of hearts. He mucks, and we take this one down. Just left Resorts World. We were able to make back 199. We lost 554 earlier, so minus 355 for the day. Not too bad. Gonna go back to the room and get some rest. We are outside South Point Casino, about to go play some 3-5 Hold'em. It's gonna buy in for $1,200 and play till we have 7 to 10 interesting hands. So that is our plan for now. Let's do it. Looking down at the beautiful king, queen of clubs. Middle position posted a dead blind, so already some dead money out there. Low jack opens to 25. Middle position folds, and we call from the small blind with king, queen of clubs. Heads up to the flop, $60 in there, and the flop is 7-5 deuce, all clubs. We just flopped the second nuts right off the rip. We're about 800 effective with the low jack. We check in flow, and he c-bets pretty small, $15. We could raise, definitely against this smaller sizing. I actually do like raise a little bit better, but call is not bad either, so we do put in the call. The turn is the king of diamonds, so once again, we are going to check in flow. This king hits his range pretty well. I think he's going to be firing quite often on this king. Perfect card for us to go for the check raise. He does decide to fire $75, so music to our ears. Coming up with a sizing now. I decide to raise to 210. I like this size, just under 3x. Get some good value, but make sure we also don't force him to fold. He doesn't think for too long and puts in the call, so definitely what we want to see. Off to the river, 510 in the pot. It is the jack of diamonds. Luckily, it wasn't a fourth club. That is really what we did not want to see. I decide to bet 375. I do like this bet size. Unfortunately, he doesn't think for too long and folds. Looking down at the magical jiggities, this time jack of diamonds, jack of clubs. Tight reg opens to 15 from under the gun. Button calls, small blind calls. We decide to call from the big blind, being that it is a under the gun open and a tight player. Obviously, we could squeeze, especially with the extra dead money in the pot, but I don't hate calling. So we do put in the call, and 4 ways to the flop. 60 in the middle. The flop is queen, jack, 3. We hit middle set, 2 hearts on the board. So I check, praying that under the gun bets, but unfortunately he does not, and it checks through. Turn is the 7 of hearts. Small blind checks. At this point, I'm going to protect my hand from that last heart hitting. I don't think anyone has a flush. I need to get value from queen X or other various hands. Random ace X of heart hands. I fire out for 45. Under the gun calls, and the other 2 players fold. Heads up to the river, and it is the queen of clubs. 150 in the pot. I think this is a spot we can either go for a huge overbet or a nice chunky 3/4 pot bet. I'm putting him on more combos of aces or kings than I am a flush or a queen X type hand. That is why I decide to bet 115. He thinks it over for about 5 seconds and puts in the call. And he is pretty tilted, pretty annoyed. So I think it's very possible we might have cracked kings or aces this hand. Kind of unfortunate we didn't 3-bet pre-flop because this hand could have potentially been a lot bigger. Looking down at another pocket pair, this time pocket 9s. Lock in, you guys. This one gets insane. There is a straddle under the gun to $10. We open to 30 from the low jack, pocket 9s. Cutoff calls, button calls, and the straddle calls. Off to the flop, 128 in the pot, and the flop is queen 9-7. Let's go. Pocket 9s again. They already paid off for us at the Aria. Let's see how they hold up here at South Point. Straddle checks. We bet $55. Cutoff, pretty loose, splashy, middle-aged Asian guy. He raises to 155. Music to our ears. I know we have the mega nuts right now. There's no way he has pocket queens. Folds to us, and we definitely need to get more money in the pot. Like I said, we have the mega nuts. We're unblocking the draws, unblocking queen X, coming up with the size. I don't think I need to raise huge. I just need to raise something so I can set up a turn jam. I 3-bet to 320. And I don't even have to think about a turn jam because he goes all in now for 1,070 effective. Obviously, we snap call, putting him on a club draw heavily at this point. Maybe he has pocket 7s and we got lucky. 2,268 in the pot. It all comes down to this, you guys. We can make back all our losses and then some with this one hand. Can we hold? The turn is the 4 of spades. Just pair the board or no club. Pair the board or no club. The river is the ace of clubs. The worst card we could possibly see. Whoa. Yay. So sick. I mean... And of course he does have Queen 5 of clubs. Absolutely devastating. I thought this was our moment. Super disappointing. Looks like it's back to the drawing board for us. And that is going to be our last hand at South Point. I did not have that much more money with me. And at this point, I was just done. Well, that's fun. Can't lie to you guys. I am pretty distraught right now. We've tried so hard this trip to get back to even. We started in a big hole. We grinded back. We played for 7 hours today. If we just win that hand like we're supposed to, we might even be up for the trip, come to think of it. But now it's way back to square one. I don't think profit's on the schedule anymore for this trip. I don't think it's possible. So I'm not sure what the plan is now. I might play one more time at Caesars or Resorts World or something. Or I might just be done. I really just want to fucking break something right now, honestly. Like, I'm so frustrated. Like, we grinded so hard. We were card dead for so long. We finally get the one dream spot we're looking for. And this fucking moron just gets there with Queen 5. So frustrating. So, not sure where we go from here. I guess back to the room, recollect our thoughts, and figure out our next move. So that's the plan for now. Let's get a ride out of here. Next hand tilted me so bad. I literally left the casino for a little bit after this hand, calling around, trying to find a different game before I decided my best bet was just to go back here. But that's how tilting this hand was. So let me explain the action up to this point. I forgot to record earlier in the hand. Pre-flop, low jack opens to 25. We call on the button with 6-5 of hearts. Small blind, 3 bets to 50. Low jack calls, so we call as well. 3 ways to the flop, 155 in there. We are the effective stack, 790 to start the hand. The flop is 8-7-3 rainbow, so we are open-ended. Small blind bets 50, low jack calls, we put in the call. Turn, king of spades, small blind once again bets 50, low jack calls, we call. Off to the river, 455 in the pot, and it is the 4 of spades, so we do hit our straight, but it does put the flush out there as well. Small blind now slows down and checks, and now low jack says all in for $800. There's 455 in the pot. Small blind does have 800 behind, so yeah, he rips all in for 800. We only have 640 back, but he is effectively shoving for $800 into a $455 pot. Multi-way. So if you somehow just have the ace of spades blocker hand and you're just pulling off some mega bluff multi-way, then I guess GG. But yeah, I don't think we can call this. This would just be a very fishy call. I mean, dude just has a flush here 95% of the time, maybe higher. Whatever. Luckily, he didn't bet like 200. Then we probably would have called, been even more tilted, but somehow this shit pissed me off even more. I literally racked up and left after this shit. It pissed me off so bad. And then I was back about 10 minutes later. But that's going to be it for the 6-5 of hearts hand. Hoping to get something going. This time we're looking down at ace-king offsuit. Pretty tight passive. Older player opens to $20 from under the gun. We put in the 3-bet from the low jack. And under the gun calls. Heads up to the flop. 147 in the pot. And the flop is queen jack 10. Rainbow. We flop the nuts. We're the effective stack, 570 to start the hand. Under the gun checks, and we bet 25. Really hate this bet. This is horrible. My thinking was I was trying to induce a raise, but against this player type, tight, passive, old dude, he is never raising unless he has ace king himself or maybe king 9. Even sets, he's just going to call, being scared of ace king. So this is absolutely a horrible bet. He obviously calls off to the turn, and it is the 5 of diamonds. Puts the flush draw on the board. 197 in the pot. He checks, and this is a spot we should definitely overbet, especially after betting so tiny on the flop. We need to make up for some lost value on the flop and go big here. I was not on my A game at this point, though. Just running so bad, I was tired. I do decide to bet 135, which isn't horrible, but definitely not ideal. And he puts in the call. The river is the 7 of spades, 467 in the pot. So the flush breaks out. We still have the nuts. Under the gun checks. I decide to bet 290. Should have just went all in. I didn't have that much left behind, and he pretty quickly calls. So yeah, definitely should have went all in. Not sure how we didn't get a full double up this hand, but that's just the way it goes. That's going to be it for this hand at Caesars. All right, guys, we are coming to the end of our journey. Another rough day. Minus 1,053, minus 2,149 for the trip, plus all the other money we've spent on random shit. We have just ran so bad. When we have all the outs in the monster draw, of course it breaks. When we just have them crushed with a set, Queen 5 just gets there. I mean, boat over boat in the tournament. One outer, because someone folded a 10. Run kings into queens, and of course, it's a set. I mean, just couldn't really run worse. So being down, you know, whatever we're down, 21-49, whatever, it could be worse. We ran good that one day at Aria. Other than that, it's just been brutal. So, wanted to keep playing a little bit longer, but it's 4 a.m. I got to check out of my room by 11, and my flight's not till 5. So I will be going somewhere else, playing somewhere else. Let them hold my bags while I play a few more hours, so it's not over yet. Will we make $2,149 in like 5 hours? Probably not. I don't think that's going to be possible. But can we? Maybe. So, figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. Get some rest until then. Interesting hand here. This time, under the gun, limps, loose, splashy player so far. One of the few here at Bellagio this time of day. I isolation raise to 30 from the low jack with ace king offsuit, and only the limper calls. Heads up to the flop, 67 in the pot, and the flop is queen 7-3, 2 hearts out there, 450 effective with under the gun to start this hand. He checks. I decide to c-bet 35. I like this bet size, just over half pot. Pretty wet connected board. We do have 2 overcards though. Definitely can c-bet this board. He puts in the call. Off to the turn, 137 in the pot, and it pairs the board, another 7 of spades. He checks, and at this point, we are going to take our showdown value. Ace king can be good quite a lot. He could have quite a lot of 7x calling on the flop. So after checking off to the river, 137 still in the pot, and we hit top pair, king of hearts. It does put the flush on board though, so when he checks, I have to wonder, what is he calling the $35 bet with on the flop? Hearts get home. He could still have a 7 that got there on the turn, and it's going to be hard to get called by much worse. I don't really think he has a queen. A queen will most likely call if he does have that, but like I said, I don't really think he has a queen, and this card on the river is going to make it a lot worse to get paid by many worse hands, and it's going to put us in a terrible spot if we bet and he raises or goes all in or something. This guy was playing pretty unpredictable, pretty splashy so far, so I might have felt compelled to even call him off if he did raise. So to just avoid all that, and like I said, it's hard to get called by much worse now, I do decide to shut it down, and luckily we did. He had 7-6 offsuit, so he turned trips. I think he would have raised if we would have bet on the river. Even though the hearts got there, I think he still would have raised, put us in a really tough spot. Very nice check back, and we lose the stone minimum with top pair, top kicker. Nice, straightforward hand. This time, we're looking down at number 1, the Angels, pocket aces. Low jack opens to 20. We 3-bet to 65 from the cutoff. Folds around to low jack, who goes all in. Obviously, we snap call for 420, blaze it effective, and we are off. 847 in the pot. The flop is ace, 8, 7. Don't think we're going to have to worry about much. This hand, there is 2 hearts out there. Turn, 9 of clubs. River, 4 of clubs. And we win versus pocket queens. That was it for us after that final hand. We walked around Bellagio for a bit more after. Gorgeous property. Then it was time for us to get a ride to the airport and catch our flight back home. All in all, it was a great experience. Even though we lost, even though we ran bad, I still learned a ton about Vegas and even more so about myself. I gotta say, my favorite part was the people. Every person I met was super nice. Every Lyft driver, 10 out of 10. All the people I played with, super chill. That was my favorite part, I gotta say, of Vegas. But at this point, I was super tired, ready to see my son, my family, get back to my normal routine. Was definitely ready to be headed back home. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end. It means a ton. And for sharing this experience with me. We will see you next video.